Alright, so update on the situation from yesterday. As it turns out, thankfully we were able to get the water shut off yesterday, and we were able to get a plumber out first thing this morning. Our house is actually flipped, so we bought it from this couple who flips houses, and some corners were cut, and so we've had some issues prior to this, but nothing major. So it appears that when they had replumbed the house up through the attic, because it is an older home, one of the pipes was just a little bit short, and they decided to pull it tight and weld it, but because of that, there was a lot of tension on that pipe, and so what happened is because of the tension, eventually, it was bound to pop apart, and that's what happened. But now, so the pipe was an easy fix, but because of all the damages from that water, they're gonna have to demo probably 2 walls in my office, and the flooring through that whole room, our laundry room, and part of the hallway, and maybe some into our bedroom, depending on what they find. And let's just say we're really grateful we have homeowners insurance, but it's still not cheap, so that's been a fun experience. This is our first home, and so it has definitely come with a lot of questions of why did we do this to ourselves and buy a house, and there's just a lot that you have to look after. I don't think people really think about that, so very grateful that it turned out not to be as bad as it could have been, because it could have been the water heater, but it wasn't. It's still working fine, and it really was just a pipe issue, and so they were able to extend it so that doesn't have that tension issue anymore. But when we did buy the house, there was a similar issue with the shower where pipes were just not aligned properly, and so our shower was like gushing water, so we had to have the plumber out here when we first bought the house as well. So just things to be aware of, I guess, when you're becoming a homeowner. But yeah, it's added stress, right? We're trying to move and applying for jobs, trying to figure out where we're gonna live, and then we weren't expecting on a random Sunday afternoon, a month before we have to leave, to have a waterfall basically happen in my office. Thankfully, my desk and computer were on the opposite wall, and so there was no damage to my computer. Really, the only things that got damaged was the structures, and then we had a futon on the wall on that side of the room, but the frame was already kind of broken. Not kind of, it was pretty broken, so we were already thinking of getting that replaced at some point. So not the end of the world. It definitely could have been worse than it was, and so we do feel very lucky. But sometimes it just feels like all the stress in the world, and then something comes along and you think that everything's falling apart, and then after it passes you realize things could have been a lot worse than they were, and gotta see the silver lining in things. Definitely was not when everything first happened. I definitely sat on the ground and just cried for a bit, but it's not like it's easy, and financially it's hard to deal with stuff like that when you're not planning on it. So yeah, definitely lessons learned. I don't know that, like, I mean, we're very lucky that we were in a position that we could even buy a house at some point in our life, right? So definitely not saying anything by that, but there are a lot of things I think people just don't really think about when they're switching from renting to owning, and then also when you do buy a house, all the things you have to think of and, you know, take care of. And yeah, so that's kind of the story on that. It's turned out okay. And then updates, I have decided that I'm probably going to do this series through 30 days, so that's going to be in 2 days. Just because I do feel like I've gotten down in a routine and have been able to post, and I've gained a bit of a following. I mean, there's like over 100 of you guys, so that I'm really grateful for. And so I do want to do weekly posts after this, because I do miss editing. I think doing this challenge was very invigorating and got me back on track for what I want to do. I thought it would be easier to record and not have to edit once a day, but there's a lot of limitations creatively with that that I miss. And also there's so many things throughout the day that I want to record, but it requires maneuvering, like, you know, camera angles and editing this and that. And because of the series I've been doing the past almost 30 days, it has limited that a lot. And so I think I'm at the point where I really do want to pursue this. I have realized I do really enjoy it. I have like a lot of ideas that I want to do. But also the next couple weeks I'm gonna mainly be packing up and getting ready to leave, and I think that would be better for long form content in a way where it's like 10 minutes once a week rather than every day for sometimes not even 30 seconds. And so that's the direction I kind of want to pivot. So thank you for following along, I mean, so far, and I hope you'll continue to watch as I adapt and pivot with my content. So see y'all tomorrow.